Thank you for joining us on the program today. My name is Tunde Alabi. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the program today. And this is a program that looks at global issues that shape our world, issues of international and diplomatic relevance, and global agenda that determine our national and common interests. My name is Tunde Alabi. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the program today. Today, it is generally accepted that the common denominator among African governments and their citizens is a social contract signed by leaders to bequeath citizens with social justice equity through functional parliaments and judicial system. While the measure of the deliverables of these institutions is highly contested, they are arguably the core drivers of governance that determine whether the social contract is implemented in breach or otherwise. The areas of education, health, political inclusion, social economic equity, justice, access to justice, viable economy, access to human rights protection, among others, they are critical. According to a revised 2020 World Bank report, the sub-Sahara Africa accounts for most of the global poor, and this is despite making progress in crashing the number of people who have to live on less than $1.90 a day between 1990 and 2015. Africa still has a long way to go in sustainable poverty reduction, though the continent is blessed with abundant human and economic resources. A greater percentage of the people still live in abject poverty with limited access to social benefits. It is a well-known fact that Africa lacks leadership with vision for turning the fortune of Africa around. Today, there are Nigerian-born politicians or politicians of Nigerian descent outside Nigeria who hold several key leadership positions either in the United Kingdom, either in Europe, or even in the United States, making impacts and contributing to their host countries or adopted countries' national growth. Just recently, a Nigerian-born lawyer was named the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of Alberta region in Canada. In the UK, there are British politicians of Nigerian descent in the British Parliament. We on this program have hosted some of these British parliamentarians live. We are proud to say we are the first Nigerian television and national program on any Nigerian network to do so. Today, we are joined live from the United Kingdom by two British politicians of Nigerian descent who were elected mayors of London boroughs. They will share their experience of politics, contesting for offices with other British citizens with us on the program, and what politics and leadership are meant to do. Earlier, we announced that Casey Madu, another Nigerian who is currently the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of Alberta region in Canada, was meant to join us on the program, but he had to reschedule due to very important unplanned official assignment. But we're going to be on that for you, and probably will be joining us very soon. But before I bring my guest, the Nigerian-Ghana bilateral relations appear to be running into some difficulties following the crisis between Ghanaian government and Nigerian traders in Ghana. Let's get some update from this report as Sadia Dosumu gives us some update.
Ongoing process to find a lasting solution to the fractured relations between Nigeria and Ghana has received a boost as officials of both countries met Thursday in Abuja, the Nigerian's capital, to hold further discussion on how to resolve the lingering crisis. The Nigerian delegation to the meeting was led by Adeniyi Adebayo, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. Others present at the meeting were Lai Mohammed, Minister of Information and Culture, and Ambassador Zubairu Dada, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. The meeting also had in attendance representative of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Controller General of Immigration, and Executive Secretary, CEO, Nigeria Investment Promotion Council, NIPC. The Ghanaian team was led by Alain Kematang, Minister for Trade and Industry. Other members of the Ghanaian delegation include Kojo Nkrumah, Minister for Information, and Mohammed Habibu Tijani, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. Earlier in the week, Nigeria's House of Representatives Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila met his Ghanaian counterpart in Accra, Ghana. Gbajabiamila had in the Accra meeting called on the Ghanaian authorities to do everything within their powers not to frustrate Nigerian traders in Ghana. Sadiat Dusumu, AIT News, Abuja.
All right, welcome back from that report. And let's just quickly give you some update on that Ghana-Nigeria relations and update on that. The president of Ghana, Professor Nana Akufo-Addo, has assured the Speaker of Nigeria's House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, of the readiness of the Ghanaian government to consider the resolutions reached at the Legislative Diplomacy Bilateral meeting between Nigeria and Ghana senior legislators on 2nd September 2020 at the Ghanaian Parliament. That is the update coming from that report. Let's talk to our guests now as we take a look at equity and justice as a tool for national growth. We see Nigerians outside the shores of Nigeria playing politics and doing absolutely very well. Joining me now from London to look at this issue is Ade Aminu, Honorable Ade Aminu. Honorable Ade Aminu is a two-term Mayor Lambeth, London, and also joining us from Enfield in London is Honorable Kate Anolue. Honorable Kate Anolue is a two-term Mayor of Enfield in London. Gentlemen, guys, thank you for joining us on the program today. Let me start with Honorable Aminu. Honorable Aminu, you've the background to our discussion today. We are looking at equity and justice as a tool for national growth. You have been a politician in the United Kingdom, in London, and you were a two-time mayor in London. How would you assess politics in Nigeria and, of course, national development from your background?
Well, I was a deputy mayor for 1 year and the other year as the mayor. So I think from my perspective, from my experience in the United Kingdom, is that when we are talking about equity and justice, without equity, there will never be justice. And what we do here is to make sure that we are fair with whatever we do with our citizens here in terms of how we allocate resources to make sure that no one is left behind. And that is how we run our government here, that we are not doing it for our own selfish ends, but we do it for the common goals of everybody. And that is how we run our system here. In Nigeria, I think in terms of the policies that the government come up with, then it has to be people-oriented. It has to be something that it benefits the common people. And people have to know that when they are selecting someone, they are selecting someone who is actually representing them, not representing themselves. And in terms of selection, they need to make sure that when they are selecting people, they are credible people. And it's now, at the end of the day, it's up to the electorate to select or to elect whoever they want. But if you think someone is not serving you well, why are you continuing to support them? Why are you continuing to vote for them every time, every year when they come with their ballot paper? Then you need to let them know that if you are not there to serve me, to make sure, the mandate I gave to you last time, it benefits my community, it benefits my people, then you don't expect me to vote for you again. And I think people need to wake up. And I know election is coming up very soon, maybe by 2003.
2023.
2023. Sorry. 2023. Then they need to assess all these candidates. Over the last 4 or 5 years they've been in office, what have they done? What have they achieved? In my local area, have they done the roads, education, health, other infrastructure that the state, the local government need? What have they achieved in providing all those facilities for them? If the answer is no, then I think people should get up and get their own candidate. If they have to form another party, so be it. The most important thing is that you get the people that you believe that will represent you, that will do what you want them to do for your community. That is what it's all about. So don't get money from politicians. They give you 1,000 pounds, 2,000, maybe 5,000, sorry, I'm using pounds, naira, to vote for them. Then after that, you realize the next 4 years, you get nothing. Your roads have not been repaired. The school that your children goes to is not good enough. medical care is not there for you. There's no job, no security. So what's the point of voting for them? So my answer is that if the government or the people there now are not serving you, they are not providing what you need, be brave enough to work together as a group, as a community, to present your own candidate and make sure those are the people that you vote for to do what you want for them.
Okay, if the people you have elected are not doing very well, you have the right to change them. Honorable Kate Anole, let me come to you. You are a two-time mayor in London. Talk us through, how easy was it for you? As I know you're British, but the fact still remains you are a Nigerian. You have people you are competing with. You have other, you are Caucasians, you have whites, you have Indians, but two-time mayor in London, that's some feat. How easy was it? About the money you have? Was it about your competence? Was it about merit? Tell us, what was it? And do a kind of analysis between, if you were to be in Nigeria, would you have had such an opportunity?
Good afternoon, Tunde. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, my fellow Councillor Aminu. You know, it's nice to see you. We live in London here. We hardly see ourselves. Thank you so much. You know, the topic of today has a great meaning to me, and the reason is because the system. I look at the system of election here and the system of election back home. That is. You know, they are very, 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 very far wide apart. Number one, here in London here or in England here, election is by merit. It is by merit. And also, it does not consist of money, not money coming from me or any of us. If you are in a party, for example, I'm in the Labour Party, and the other parties are exactly the same thing. You know, we do things like fundraising, and fundraising goes in one pot. And in that one pot, our leaflets and everything is done from that. It does not, you don't have to have a penny. You don't even add anything. And if you have friends who want to support the party, and they have got a limit where they would, you know, where they need to, you know, declare.
The limit of financial support they can give any candidate.
Exactly. And that has to be declared, you see. So that means, you know, there's nobody coming to say, oh, I give you so you can, you know, so you get in, where you get in, I want you to do this or do that for me. It doesn't work that way at all. So every single person is by merit. And then you work your socks off. You contact the residents. You knock at their door one at a time. You knock, you know, in probably within 3-6 months, you knock over 6,000 houses, and you speak to them individually. You don't give them anything. What you say to them is, when you elect me, I can do the work. I can be your mouth. I speak for you for good roads, for good housing, for healthcare purposes and social services. You speak for them. That is all you're promising them. You're not promising them Gary, you're not promising them rice. You're not promising them any money. And your own money doesn't involve either. So when you compare that and compare Nigeria, where they speak with money, they don't even go convert. All they do is they get their thugs. All of them go, they distribute rice and 1,000 each, and because of the poverty in Nigeria as well, that makes it easy. The voters are easy prey, especially for women as well, who probably have children and they don't work, and they depend on farm or maybe the things that are given to them. And these politicians know that. So here we are guided by law, order, guidance, and policy. That is extremely important. And also, each party is told there's a cap of how much you're going to spend when you're campaigning. You cannot spend more than that. If you spend more than that, at the end of election, you know, each party, they are checked each party, and if you spend more, they're taking you to court, and then you could be fined. And also, you see, the idea of jumping from one party to the other, it doesn't happen here. Reason is because if I leave Labour Party today and go to another party, fine. But to come back to Labour Party is another 5 years. So when you think about it, You know, you just move there. They give you probably 1 year, you know, they welcome you and so forth, but you are stuck. You cannot go back to the other party until 5 years later. So you see, so that means before you do anything, you check that. So, and before anybody votes you, they have looked at you and they know that you can do the work. Yes, I was the mayor 2012-13 and then 2019-20. And I know that the work I did in 2012-13 made it possible for me to be elected again when I did put my name down. And this time I had even more votes. Out of my colleagues, 46 of us, and 30 voted for me, you know, which is more than half. So really, and I don't give anybody anything. You just lobby your, when it's for the mayor, you lobby your colleagues. When it's for the council or the MP, you lobby the residents, the community. And this is the thing. So it doesn't happen like that. And back home, all of them, they go for the money. You know, I mean, how can, you know, take for example, you tell me how the Imo governor, how did he get his seat? Who voted him? Who voted him? Was it the people that voted him? You know, so it makes it impossible for me to say that I would want to be a politician in Nigeria. No, I would not want to be, because every single politician in that Nigeria, you know, maybe a little percentage, all of them never got there because they merited it. They got there because they got the money. And those that didn't have the money, they have the godfather. So, you know, so it's very, very difficult for us to get a better system. And that is why corruption is extremely high.
Councillor, that's a very thought-provoking statement there by Honorable Kate Anule. If you were to be in Nigeria now, Nigeria is talking about the process of constitutional amendment. The process of amending the constitution is going to start very soon. If you were to be in Nigeria, if you were to have a say, if you were to say something, if you were given the opportunity, what would you be telling the National Assembly to ensure that there is equity, there's justice, there's credibility? Once the foundation is wrong, everything we're going to put on in is going to be absolutely wrong. What would you be telling the National? What would you be telling the National Assembly?
I think what I'll be telling them now is that, you know, the issue of diaspora voting has been going on for a long time. I think I've been involved as far back as probably 2010. And up till now, all they've been doing is promise, and this never happened. And moreover, if you look at the amount of money we are contributing to the Nigerian economy from the diaspora, is billions of pounds or dollars every year. So what they need to do first is to allow the diaspora to be able to vote for the leaders they want. And I hope they will be brave enough this time around to make sure that it's a reality for us that live in the diaspora, so that we'll be able to choose the governors, the presidents that we want to lead our country. The other things I'll be telling them is that they need to look into the diaspora community. I mean, you've rightly mentioned that some of us are doing well here. We are politicians, we are doctors, you know, you name it. In every area of civil society, we are there. We have credible people who are leading, are doing well. So this diaspora who are doing well for this country and other countries within the Europe and America, why can't the Nigeria or the NIDCOM, the body that represents the diaspora in Nigeria, why is it that they are not talking to this leader, these individuals who are doing well in the diaspora, to actually work with them in Nigeria? You know, most of us, what we've achieved in this country probably won't be possible in Nigeria, because in Nigeria, everything is about quota system. It's about
Honorable, I mean, I'm sorry. We'll continue this discussion some other time. We need to go now. But I can assure you, African Independent Television, AIT, is going to be actively involved in this issue of constitutional amendment and the issue of diaspora voting and every other thing that concerns the diaspora will be taken care of in our discussion on the constitutional amendment review that will be handled by AIT. So I can assure you of that. I need to let you go now. Thank you, Honorable Aminu, a two-time mayor in London, Honorable Kate Anule. It's a pleasure always having you on our program and giving you your time to us on the show. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so that's Honorable Adiaminu, one-time deputy mayor and a one-time mayor of London, Lambert Barrow, and of course, Honorable Kate Anolue, a two-time mayor of Enfield in London. They've spoken about the issue of equity justice as a tool for national growth and what Nigeria needs to do to ensure we have probity, credibility, and of course sanity in our electoral system. Very important to Nigerians in diaspora is the issue of diaspora voting as Nigeria begins to move towards a constitutional amendment or review. Probably as we table the issue of electoral review, probably the diaspora will have the opportunity to say, yes, I want to have a say in what happens in the politics of Nigeria. Many Nigerians abroad are doing absolutely well, and they should be given that opportunity. It's a pleasure to have you all join me on the program today. Until we come your way again next week, Friday. Apologize, we were supposed to have to be joined by Casey Madu. Casey Madu is the Solicitor General in Alberta region, Canada, but unfortunately is unable to join us. Hopefully next week we'll be able to bring him to join us on the program. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. Bye.